Donald Trump holding a conference call with Catholic leaders earlier today discussing the leaked emails illustrating Clinton's inner circle mocking conservative Catholics. So how will this affect the state of the race? Let's bring in Bob Vanderplaats, Angela Flood, who was actually on today's conference call, and also joining us by phone, Father Jonathan Morris. Let me start with you, Angela. Can you tell us what was talked about, and were the participants able to ask questions?
Hi, Charles. Yes, they were able to ask questions, and essentially what transpired was that Kellyanne Conway and other leaders and members of the Catholic advisory group expressed their outrage, their concern about the emails that have been leaked. And, you know, you find out what people really think when they don't believe that anyone's watching. And the fact that Hillary Clinton would have people like this advising her campaign speaks volumes. It's not enough, if it wasn't already enough, that we knew of her hostility toward Catholic beliefs over the last 30 years through her policy positions, and even more recently, her more extreme positions. This cleared it up for everybody.
Father Morris, you're always this sort of counsel that asks for cooler heads to prevail. What we're seeing in this election and the separating of people, families, the anger, maybe it was already there and this just helped to manifest it. But what are your thoughts on the campaign itself and what you're hearing from both candidates?
Well, you know, I was asked to be on the phone call today, and I declined because I want to make sure that I'm not in any way affiliated with either campaign, in a special way this year because I think both candidates are deeply flawed. But I do have serious issues with what was revealed in these emails, and this is the heart of the issue, Charles. The emails that these advisors and major advisors of Hillary Clinton express now demonstrate that these elites think that only fools actually believe in religion, and that the ruling class, which they here, attribute to Murdoch and Robert Thompson, basically just fake religion in order to appease us fools, to appease the people who actually believe in God and who follow religion. I mean, they had the gall to say, oh, they must be educating their kids in the Catholic faith because they believe that politically, that their friends won't consider them to be too wacko, for example, if they were to become evangelical. It's a worldview that is so out there and completely disconnected with the reality that most Americans live.
Bob Vanderplaats, some key leaders in the evangelical community came out against Donald Trump after the tape was revealed. I'm not sure where your position is right now, but do you feel that that now, after hearing what Father Morris said, really highlighting what I think a lot of folks have felt for a long time, that progressives have been led by a real strong atheist sort of leadership there, and I think that they've been winning. I think they've been winning for the last several years, perhaps decade, and I do think that America is moving further away from God. But where does that put evangelicals, who seem to be between a rock and a hard place from time to time?
I think where it puts evangelicals, Charles, is on our knees and praying and seeking God's face. And a real question for this country is, and I think it's what's being revealed in these emails, this entire campaign, is there a God or isn't there a God? If there isn't a God, then government gets to rule and we get to do whatever's right in our own eyes. But if there is a God, we'd be best to go towards His principles, His precepts, the pursuit of His righteousness. And I think that's what the evangelicals are wrestling with. They're appalled at what Donald Trump did in 2005, the tape. There's no excuse for it. There's no condoning it. It's totally unacceptable. But right now, we're asking the church to be the church, and that is to seek God's face, be in prayer, but also be that prophetic voice to a culture of the Nathan to a David by showing up at the voting booth on November 8th.
Yeah, and we need to bring God back into our lives. No country in the world has been blessed to the degree we have, and I think we're taking it for granted. You guys are fantastic. I wish I had more time. Thank you all for your time tonight.